it is time to discuss the preview for possibly one of our toughest games so far in 2025. Let's get into the details. Good morning, RSL Nation. It's your favorite sports maniac and RSL Nation fan, Cabino, and we are here to discuss our toughest matchup of 2025. And it is against a very talented and dominating Vancouver Whitecaps side that we have never seen ever before. They're usually a down bad team, and now this year they're too good. And RSL travels to Vancouver, Canada to take on the Vancouver Whitecaps. So we are going to be in for a very tough roller coaster of emotions coming up. We'll discuss it all in the preview. Hope you guys enjoy. Smash the like, subscribe if you're new, and let's get into this preview. Let's discuss the last meeting between the two, and of course it took place on decision day of last season in October, where RSL hosted the Vancouver Whitecaps. It did start nothing in the first half. It did start with a penalty miss by Fafa Picault, who now plays for Inter Miami. Picault takes the penalty for Vancouver, skies it over the goal, and a big missed opportunity for Vancouver. I did not get that because, I don't know. But Vancouver did score first in that game. And it's from a player that we haven't seen in 2025 yet. It was, of course, star boy Ryan Gold, who yeeks one past the keeper. And it was 1-0 right away in the close to 15 minutes in the second half. So Vancouver 1-0 up, and then minutes later, Brian Ojeda connects a well pass to Diego Luna, and Luna dribbles it in, and he slots it home past Bomer, and the game is tied on decision day. Big goal, big moment, and a lot of potential for RSL to get somewhat of a result at home in America First Field. And then we head towards the 82nd minute, where there was a bit of a mix-up between the Bomer, the Vancouver keeper at the time, and the defenders. But in reality, this was given as an own goal by Bomer, so Vancouver's keeper ended up giving Real Salt Lake a 2-1 win at home on decision day, which was the best way to end the regular season for Real Salt Lake. An unfortunate moment for Bomer, but new keeper, new players, new coach. This Vancouver Whitecaps team has been completely different ever since Vanni Sartini stepped down, and the new coach is looking absolutely phenomenal. So that was our last match day preview between the two teams. There are two players that I need to discuss, because RSL is going to have to keep everybody on the same page. Of course, Brian White is our first player that they need to keep an eye out for. This guy can't stop scoring. Give him the ball, you'll score. Give him the ball and you'll score again. He is absolutely deadly this season, and he can punish any MLS team that goes in his way, and he will end up getting a goal at that point. So he's going to be very dangerous to watch. Number 2 is going to be Sebastian Berhalter. Learned from his father's roots, Greg Berhalter, who is now the head coach for the Chicago Fire. Sebastian Berhalter is following Brian White's footsteps by scoring goals as well. He scored a fantastic goal last week against Minnesota, and and he is continuing to be much more successful from there. And he scored a goal against Inter Miami on Wednesday too. So those two are going to be in. They're going to have to keep a dead eye on them. So for a tough Vancouver team that they are, I think it's just those two and many others that are going to be more dangerous. But specifically those two. Vancouver, here are the two players you need to watch from Real Salt Lake. Diego Luna is going to be one of them. He scored twice last week. He had a fantastic game against San Diego FC. He is looking to be dangerous on that wing, and you guys are just going to have to be prepared for what's to come. So there's that. Second player is a guy that likes to make dangerous passes, create dangerous opportunities, learn to be skillful with the ball at perfect times. That's going to be our Portuguese Magnifico, Diogo Gonçalves. Just watch him. He'll be dribbling past you. He'll be passing dangerously out there, and he's going to do everything in his power to give RSL all 3 points. And he'll be fighting for it. Every single player will be fighting for it from start to finish for the full 90. Now, let me ask you guys about this. Why is Vancouver our toughest opponent of the year so far? Let me scoot to the side and show you the Western Conference standings. Where's Vancouver? That's right. They're in first place with 23 points, sitting nice and comfortable up there. They're looking dangerous. They're playing smart. They're playing awesome soccer. And Real Salt Lake sitting in 10th below the playoff line as of things stand. So we're going to be in for a real test today. So here's the difference between first and 10th. So both teams are going to have to be on top of their game in order to retrieve a result at home at BC Place. Score prediction time! And don't be surprised, because I think RSL is going to take one of these. One of these. Yep. Vancouver, BC Place is going to be it's a tough stadium to play. It's always been. RSL somehow finds their movement and somehow gets results at BC Place. I just don't think that it's going to be the case because of how freaking good this Vancouver Whitecaps team really is. At most, I'm going to say 3-0 for Vancouver. Brian White will score twice. Actually, make it 4-0. Brian White will score twice. Pedro Vito will score once. And Berhalter will score once. And that's all it's going to really take. None of the goals will be Cabral fault, but that's going to be my score prediction for tonight's game. As sad as I hate to see this, I just don't think we can outlast a surprising Vancouver Whitecaps side. Well, guys, that is it. The moment of truth. Later on today, we'll figure out if Vancouver will beat RSL or if RSL can pull the shocking upset of the weekend and beating them. We'll figure that out in a moment. But that's going to conclude my matchday preview video. We appreciate you guys for taking the time out of your day to watch this. I'll be posting a link to my TikTok with all the behind the scenes and all that, so you guys can go check that out. Smash the like button, subscribe if you're new. RSL on top. Yeah, thanks for watching.